Hey kiddies, it's Triple Feature Tuesday, and we're going to look at cops trapped in buildings. I hope everybody had a pleasant Memorial Day. I enjoyed my forced 3-day weekend, and I'm looking forward to working extra hours this week to make up for it. But that's neither here nor there, because what we're concerned about is the brutal sense of justice and good triumphing over evil in the face of insurmountable odds in the films this week. Each one of these movies, as I said, features cops trapped in buildings with no hope of rescue, backup, or reinforcements, and all they can do is just kill their way to the dawn and try to survive the night. And spoiler alert, they do. I mean, come on. But each one of these movies is just extremely brutal, and not just the violence, but the types of violence. It's really astounding. All of these movies have dystopian elements to them. It's just the society has abandoned this area for reasons X, Y, and Z, and now it's up to these poor cops to deal with it and try to impose some order on them. Our menu is going to include the original Attack on Precinct 13, The Raid: Redemption, and Dredd. And before you ask, Die Hard is not on this list because Die Hard doesn't exactly fit with these. Yes, I know it's a cop trapped in a building, but he's got reinforcements outside basically trying to help him throughout. Just bureaucracy gets in the way, and while it is LA, like Assault on Precinct 13 is, it's not everything's going wrong and there's no hope for anybody. LA, it's really just hijinks, and there's a lack of brutality to Die Hard that you'll see in these movies, which is not to say that Die Hard is not, the pinnacle of action movies, because it still totally is, as opposed to A Good Day to Die Hard, which completely sucked out loud. Now, there are a lot of reasons to pick the original Assault on Precinct 13 as opposed to the remake, which, don't get me wrong, I thought was a pretty good film with Ethan Hawke and Lawrence Fishburne, but if your choices are between a John Carpenter movie and a not John Carpenter movie, 9 times out of 10 you're going to want to pick that John Carpenter movie, provided it's not Escape from LA or Ghosts of Mars. The original, this is the movie that really put John Carpenter on the map. He had made Dark Star before this and was getting some notoriety, and that helped him finance this one. But basically, this movie killed in every sense of the word. It's just brutal and wonderful and epic. It's set in Los Angeles at the soon-to-be closed down forever Precinct 13, and Lieutenant Ethan Bishop is assigned to kind of oversee the last day of Precinct 13. Now, unfortunately, other members of the Los Angeles Police Department had attacked and successfully killed a couple members of the leading gang in the area, known as Street Thunder. And the members of Street Thunder vow unholy revenge on any cops that they see. And, in the process of getting there, they kill just about anybody else they see, including one bit of violence involving an ice cream truck that is really, really disturbing and kind of sets the bleakness for the rest of the movie. This is a neighborhood, in LA that has just been overrun by jerks, and they're going around killing everybody. A prisoner transport stops at Precinct 13 to get some medical supplies because one of the prisoners it's transporting falls ill, and so we add them into the mix, including noted murderer Napoleon Wilson. And basically, it's around this time that Street Thunder shows up and starts just shooting every single part of the Precinct 13 building for the rest of the night. They cut the communications, there's nobody else that can help them, and it's basically cops and criminals have to team up to try to survive the night against the even worse criminals. And it's really bleak, really brutal. The action pretty much doesn't stop, and the characters are compelling. It's everything you want in a John Carpenter movie, just really, really early, and a hell of a lot more violent than you would have thought. There's a brutality to the violence in this film that you don't see in other John Carpenter movies. Don't get me wrong, the horror movies and action movies he makes are absurdly violent. But that's the thing, they're absurdly violent. There's stylization to them. These guys are trying to kill those guys, and really neither side can stop until the other side is dead, or reinforcements come. But guess what? Reinforcements just aren't coming, so everybody's got to die on one side, and it's epic and wonderful. Next we have The Raid Redemption. This is an Indonesian film that I'm pretty sure just about every other person you know has told you, you've got to see this movie, as they told me repeatedly. But then I saw it, and in fact, you do got to see this movie. It's really, really good. Rama is part of a not exactly sanctioned police effort to take down Tama, a local crime lord who owns an apartment building. You know, I say owns. Just, you tell him he doesn't own it, and we'll see how that works out. This building provides security for other criminals for a price, and so once the cops bust in trying to get to Tama, the big head honcho at the top of the building, well, he's got more than a few people to delegate the police task force to, and he does, and it's really horrifically violent for about an hour and a half to 2 hours. It comes down to Rama and some friends he makes along the way having to basically beat the hell out of everybody. They run out of ammo fairly quickly. This is much more of a martial arts movie as opposed to The Assault on Precinct 13, which is more of Zulu with the LAPD versus a gang. It's very claustrophobic and very darkly lit, and so you get this real sense of being trapped throughout the whole film. There's a lot of great action sequences, set pieces, really brutal fights, all leading up to the big climax of the film. And while it's not the most interesting story, it's fairly straightforward, it's just really beautiful to watch. And how often do you get to watch an Indonesian action movie? So get on that. And as is the case with any triple feature involving Dredd, Dredd has to be the closer, because nothing can follow it. The second attempt to make a movie based on British comic 2000 AD, Judge Dredd. This one with a surprising lack of Sly Stallone. Don't get me wrong, I love Sly in so many things, but honest to God, the original Judge Dredd put me to sleep. I was snoring. It was horrible. This one, however, is insane. It is everything you look at a Judge Dredd comic for in film form. Carl Urban plays the titular Judge Dredd, and he never takes his helmet off. Like the signature look, he's just always grimacing and angry. And I really want to see, like in an interview or something, Urban commenting on what it was like to hold a grimace for X amount of months while they shot the film. Judge Dredd is paired up with rookie Judge Anderson, very attractive telepath played by the equally attractive Olivia Thirlby. And this is her first day. This is her training day to see if she's got what it takes. And the day goes horrible for her or good for her, depending on your point of view. They're investigating the suspected drug murder. They get trapped in the Petrie's apartment building. In the future, Megacity 1 is what's left after nuclear wars and other assorted junk has basically destroyed the world, and there's this giant sprawling city that goes from like Boston down to DC. And inside are basically buildings that are neighborhoods in and of themselves, just, hundreds stories high, and just everybody's crammed in there, and there's basically no hope, no quality of life. Everybody, they find things to be happy about, but everybody's doing an awful lot of drugs and are miserable, including this drug, slow-mo, which is really, really visually stunning when people use it. And it's being manufactured and distributed by Mama, Madeline Madrigal, played by Lena Headey. And I gotta tell you, I watch Game of Thrones, I watch 300. I'm pretty sure this is my favorite performance by Lena Headey. She is scary in this movie. She's just really, really good. And she locks the building down and wants the judges dead. And so hundreds and hundreds of people are trying to kill Judges Dredd and Anderson. And they have to kill everybody that comes out of them. Granted, when they do it, they're enforcing the law, because any attempt on a judge's life is an automatic death notice. So, you know, don't try to kill Judge Dredd, I think, is the overall lesson of the film, because it's just not going to go well for you. It goes great for the audience because, oh my god, just exciting and brutal, and just, it never stops moving, and everything is wonderful about it. Everything's wonderful about all of these movies, to be honest. Cops, plural, also why Die Hard is not part of this list, trapped in a building and fighting their way out for the better part of a day. The original Assault on Precinct 13, The Raid, Redemption, and Dredd. Watch them all, and I'll see you guys next week.